Hello everyone and welcome to another roster review. I am Nico and I will be your host tonight. So before I get started, I'd like to say guys, if you like this video, please give me a like. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why I suck. I'm looking to improve, so I'd appreciate any feedback I get. It also helps a new YouTuber like me with the algorithms and such. Comments are great, likes are great, dislikes even. Anything is better than nothing. So I would definitely appreciate it. So today, we have something very interesting today. I have my friend here, Tempest, who is in my cluster. Why I say this is interesting though, up 17.9 million. He is a free-to-play player. That's right, you heard him. So he's been playing free-to-play since the first week of global launch. And so I thought it'd be really neat to see what he's up to, see what he's got going on here. So yeah, just shy of 18 million. He's been War MVP 15 times. Sorry, Woofy Woof, but he beat you. He is currently Nico's top War MVP. Certainly not a record, but on my channel, this is the top so far. All-time arena rank, you can imagine that not investing in like money into the newest characters might make it a little difficult for him to break into the top 100. But let's see what he's got. At the level of play that we're looking at, this is like textbook. These are all raid teams. He's got Omega Red. You can argue that you use for the mutant raids at the end. These are all just like good raid teams. He's got a Heroes for Hire built up, I'm guessing, and which is good. He's got his Shang-Chi here. But yeah, no, I don't see anything wrong with this. I find this one interesting, but as I mentioned before, some people do use Scientist Supreme in the tech nodes. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? I'd appreciate some feedback on that because I have no idea. I've never used her there. But as we scroll on, I mean, like, it looks like he takes war serious. He's got a war defense team built up here. His Misty Knight, not so much, but Shang-Chi's the one carrying it. So now we are starting to see some wars here. It looks like he's got some intention to build up these characters. So one thing I do for myself is that when I have too many favorited characters, I really got to think, do I really need to have all these favorited? And so I wouldn't sit here picking apart all the ones that you have, but like, you know, Beast probably doesn't need to be favorited. Like just offhand, or Scientist Supreme, like, you know, take the characters that you're like, you know, I think they're good where they are. It allows you to kind of focus, that way you don't get ADD. One thing I wanted to point out is like, you look at his Star-Lord T'Challa at 4 yellow, he was a Blitz character, so I'm guessing you did well in the Blitz, so I mean, that's nice to see. I also want to point out that as a free-to-play player, he has a lot of red stars. Like, just looking here. Now, he did tell me that he promoted Aunt Robin to 7 red. But, I mean, like, there's a lot of 5s and 6s going on here. He's got a 7 on Spider-Gwen, a 6 on Iron Fist. Silver Samurai's got 6 red. Same as Red Face. Same as, like, Evil Doctor Strange. Like... Captain Sam, he pulled he pulled the 7 red, 6 red, 6. I mean, it's insane. I don't know how many of the 5 to 6s that he promoted, but for the 7 reds, he told me that Aunt Robin, Black Bolt, and Thanos were the only ones he promoted. So any other 7 reds you see, he pulled. And with the amount of 6 reds, I don't think he'd have enough credits to promote them all, personally. He pulled a 7 red Sinister, like that's winning the jackpot. Hopefully he did this a long time ago when it was more relevant. But I mean, even a 7 red Punisher, the guy hits like a truck. That's probably why he built up Luke Cage and Iron Fist. So anyway, first page, everything looks good. Nothing here looks particularly fishy. Maybe Ultron, but I mean, who am I to judge? That's all I do is judge. First real nitpick though. I mean, your Doom, you probably should have a level 85. Like, he warrants it. And, like, don't be putting Dark Promotion credits in Ultron if you haven't taken your Doom to 5 red. And that's probably an old decision, so I'm not going to, like, get in your face about it. Like, a lot of players have, like, red stars in Ultron, but just, you know, you're probably saving up for Doom anyway. I just have to point it out, or else it'll look like I'm not. And so I did kind of look over this roster earlier. And so if you guys have been watching my series, you know that one of the things I usually bring up is not partial gearing your characters. And he's done that a lot. And so I was going to bring this up, and I was starting to count how many he had. And then the second thing I noticed is that, you know, you've heard me say about the Gear Tier 13 characters. And as I looked a little deeper into it, same as Wolf in the last video that we did, the majority of his 13 gear are from characters from a meta when gear 14 was really hard to do. And it's not like he has top characters that he just left at G13. Like, it would make sense that once upon a time he would have taken his Merc Lieutenant or his Deadpool. Like, X-Force was one of the best teams in the game. Right? He's got Negasonic or War offense teams. Right? Like, Supernatural was a good team once upon a time. Power Armor. And so what I'm getting at here, in my opinion, with his partial gearing, I don't think I'm giving him too much credit here when I say this. And first off, some of these are probably like the lesser materials, so it's just cheaper to do. But if and then I noticed some of them are like level 78, some are level 81. You know what I'm seeing here? As a free-to-play player, he has to be extra careful with his resources. I feel like he's just taking them up to a certain point, and he's like, okay, they're doing what I need them to do, and then he moves on to another character. That's pretty impressive if you think about it. That to me is like the definition of resource management, where he could take his 6 red Human Torch to level 85, but he found that for what he needs to do in war is enough to do it. And then what's the point of taking it to level 85 if his level 79 Human Torch is getting it done? This is what I've been telling you guys for years. And if you look at a lot of his characters, I mean, like, some of them, like, okay, probably stopped at his 7 red shield man. Good God, you're 7. And Thor, everyone is 7. You get a 7 red, and you get a 7 red, and you get a 7 red. Anyone else? Any other 7 reds before I get going? The Wasp. Anyway, if you have your characters that are doing what they need to do, then you can stop. And I feel like sometimes he was kind of like, oh, they just need a little bit. Strife doesn't need all of this. He just needs a little bit of extra gumption. So I give him like complete, like, wow, good for you, man, that he's able to figure this out. My first instinct is like, well, why isn't your Silver Surfer 85? Well, I mean, now it's a moot point because he's no longer meta. Why isn't your Cersei level 85? Why isn't your Icarus? But just looking at how he's been playing it, I think he's just doing this intentional. That he probably feels that where he is in Arena or how much effort he wants to put in, he doesn't need to take it to level 85. Either of these. And he's currently on 2.1 in Doom. So he doesn't feel the need to keep Icarus or max out Icarus and Cersei. And if they're doing what you need them to do, you don't need to put more resources into it. I'm going to make that into a psalm one day. If you don't, no, we're not going to do that. To me, it's just really impressive how he just, like, you know, his Kitty Pryde is only 4 reds. Instead of taking her 5, he just put in more gold, right? Like, he just kind of planned them all out like that. So, yeah, definitely a good job here, man. This is a good job. I'm glad to see as a free-to-play player, you're able to keep up. I told him that I think he could definitely be doing 2.2. If not 2.3. 2.3 need a bit more level ups, but 2.2 for sure. And so as we scroll down, I mean, these are the kind of characters you expect to see at the bottom, where they're older meta. X-Force I still love to use. I can't tell him to max them out. That's bad for business. Quake unfortunately sucks on like the Inhumanes team. You know, Brotherhood 2, I mean, it is what it is. And as a free-to-play player, he has to be more mindful of the resources that he spends. He can't just throw anything willy-nilly. No more 7 reds here. I counted them earlier. There was 10 minus the 3 that he said he promoted, and so that's 7 that he pulled. Pretty impressive. Another thing I want to point out is that, I mean, like, just got a couple of the minions, but they don't really count. I've noticed that a lot of his characters are maxed out gold stars. Now, if he's been playing for as long as he has, he's had ample opportunity to do it. So if any of you are watching who have been playing for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, even 3, you might not be in that same position, but I always tell my friends, I tell my players, take your guys to 7 yellow. I've heard other content creators say get them to 6 and leave them there. I disagree with that. I think that getting the shards for characters is better. It'll help you with blitz. You never know when they throw a curveball at us and all of a sudden you need characters that no one thought about. Like, look what happened with Nick Fury, where now people who never thought of getting Kree have to build them up. So definitely good to see that you prioritized farming the shards when you could. I'd like to see you get him to 7 yellow with just blitz. It's not too hard. But he might be waiting for the next character to come to the Blitz store, and that's why he's not going mad opening it, which is also fair to do. Overall, Tempest, I really don't have anything bad to say about your roster. The worst is I can say, like, you know, put in 5 more levels in this guy, put in 3, but like, you know, you're doing what you need to do in the raids. You don't see the need to keep putting gold into them. I think that's fine. None of your characters, I feel, were like silly choices. Like, you got like Rocket for an event, same as Star-Lord, right? Fantastic Four. Well, if you pull these awesome red stars on them and you're using them in war, you like doing war in your alliance, then I'm glad you're still getting use out of them. Probably in Gear 14, he could have done this a long time ago, for all we bloody know. It's looking like you have many solid teams that you can use for war. And I like to see that you got your Weapon X built up. That'll help you in Avenger Tower mode. And so, yeah, overall, I mean, like, it's hard for me to say somebody has the best roster I've ever seen. I don't think that's fair to the other people I've seen. But, like, overall, if anything, this is probably the... Well, now you just ruined it. What the hell is this? It's like, M'Baku is bigger than your Captain Marvel. Green Goblin is. I bet Boomer probably before they got the rework. Ah, see all these people. She's on the last page. Okay, aside from that, this is a very solid roster. I'm grasping at straws here, dude. Like, just grasping. I'd like to see your X Factor bigger, but I'd rather see you build up your Weapon X before that. that's about it, really. I hope you get Madeline Pryor, because it looks like you're gonna have an awesome Marauder team on defense. Yeah, man. Other than that, I really don't have much to say, guys. I think that if you call yourself a free-to-play player, you might want to get in touch with this guy, because he's got so many top characters built up. Probably his red stars are helping him too. Oh, look, he got Morgan Le Fay. But aside from the obvious fatal flaw of Captain Marvel, awesome job, man. This is great. So yeah, guys, the name of the game is you don't need to max out your characters to get good use out of them. Get them to what they need you to do. And if they can do that, leave them alone and move on to the next group. So I'm glad to see I found a roster that agrees with that completely. But yeah, Tempest, thank you very much for that roster. That was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed seeing that. So guys, we're going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all had fun. I certainly did. And remember, guys, I stream 5:30 to 7:30 Pacific time on Monday and Wednesday. After that, I jump over to my friend the Bertrolian's channel where we play Monster Hunter until about 9:30 Pacific time. We also keep planning streams on Sunday, but I'm usually hungover, so I don't do it. But definitely have some plans for some other games that aren't Marvel Strike Force, so stick around for that. And yeah, guys, we will catch you next time. Have a good night.